And here I am at the top of the Hurst, walking down it. As you can tell, this is being filmed on a different day. Slightly more cloudy one and all. Community orchard. A good going concern, as you can see. Still good in about 10 years' time. So for London to have the Millennium Dome and the Millennium Bridge, but we had the Millennium Cart Shed, which I think is just down here. That's a nice view and all. Is that a horse or two? Maybe a cement mixer. Can't tell at this range. Suddenly dredging. So for the Environment Agency and Liberal Democrats to go on about how you can't dredge rivers because it will upset the poor clam shells and worms. And also somehow dredging will make more floods rather than less. But a lot of farmers in Cambridgeshire seem to have just ignored that and done it themselves. Probably in the middle of the night because they'll get arrested for doing it without planning permission. This is a local nature reserve apparently for the Millennium Cart Shed. We'll have a look anyway. Well, there's a cart. In fact, it looks like a spooky abandoned one in a forest I found the other week. Oh, here we are. Yep, this must be the Millennium Cart Shed. Some old pieces of horse-drawn farming equipment. A sign to explain what they are. Cart shed machinery, well, rusted machinery. A little bird box up there. And various stuff about the history of the village. A little sitting area. This is a better village park than the actual village park. But most people in the village don't even know this is down here. Just been accosted by a very cute dog. I only ever think about this place in the glorious sunny days of childhood. Didn't think it could possibly be muddy. Also, this all used to be overgrown right across the ditch here. So I thought it was a sort of closed in road. Didn't realise if I'd gone off my bike into this, I would have fell down into all that. Remember these tangled old trees well? When I was young there used to be a burnt out car down here. I wonder if that's still here. Doesn't look like it. But you never know. The burnt out car's gone. Shame, I was hoping I could try and identify it. But there was a tourist information board here. Apparently this area is meant for public access. I never knew that when I was young. All the adventures I could have had. This is a countryside scene, isn't it? If there's any more countryside, it'd be talking like Mr. Blake the Sexton from Much Binding in the Marsh. Oh no, hang on. Looks like bits of the burnt out car are still here. Just in rather worse condition than I remember from my childhood. I'm not going to bother trying to identify this, although from the shape of this roof, looks like it's actually much older than I thought it was. I always assumed it would be like a 70s Cortina or something, but this looks more like some sort of 30s or 40s car. Back at the ruined car again. I thought this was some kid's hideout, but if you look inside, you can see bricks. It used to be some sort of house or a shed or something. So if I can find a way in. Wreckage of a door frame here. There's another bit of corrugated metal wall up there. There used to be a whole other village that's just kind of fallen to pieces. At least if they find my body, they'll know where to look. Is this another piece of the car or is it something else? Doesn't look very carish. Looks like a bit from an old digger. That looks like the door from an old from an old wood burning stove. This is literally a house that's just been completely abandoned a great many years ago. Some wall here. More bits of rusted metal machinery. This looks even more inaccessible than the other side did. So there's something out of Lord of the Rings in there. Anyway, this is what I came down here for. When I was young, this track was sort of hard, compacted, smooth mud, going through a forest and really winding. So we used to come down around here at top speed on our bikes, pretending we were rally drivers. Looks like the storms we had recently have taken effect. Managed to get over the fallen tree. Side passage. Carry on my rally driver adventure. Talk of childhood hideouts. I think I found one belonging to the kids of today. Very cautiously walk over their improvised bridge. Got some deck chairs in there. It's a bit posh, we never had that. Looks like even this childhood hideout's many years old. Planks of wood everywhere. Older satellite dish. Pick up radar of enemy planes. And looks like there was an attempt to build a tree house which is abandoned. All been pulled apart since. Which is quite boring. Looks like the lumpy, bumpy, winding rally driver path I used to like cycling down is completely gone. I think it probably ran through where them kids have been making a hideout. But now it's just a couple of long, wide, straight paths. That one here is exciting. Oh well, I did have an amusing anecdote about how my friend used to always get ahead of me on the path because it's really narrow and we couldn't overtake. And then he'd go racing off and I'd get to the end, which is about here, and then he'd come serenely cycling up behind me. I never did find out where he used to hide. Now, I've backtracked, and I think this might be the lumpy, bumpy, winding rally driver path. Let's go and find out. Seems that there's now several lumpy, bumpy, winding rally driver paths. This one looks like it, but I think it's going in completely the opposite direction. But anyway, this is the closest looking to what the path used to be. He said very badly grammatically. Basically, we used to go riding down a path as narrow as this, hemmed in by trees and bushes on all sides. Probably, well, our top speed on our BMXs, which is probably about 15 miles an hour, but that's fast enough if you meet someone coming your way. Got no idea where I am now. How long does this place go on for? This is Blair Witch territory here. Oh, this looks familiar. That's the possible dip in the road that was possibly the rally bike riding track we used to go on as kids. If it is that dip, there used to be 6 logs there and you come over here on the bike at full speed and go doo-doo-doo-doo and carry on up here. Deep gouged claw marks. Rustic, rotten old horse and cart, well, horse-drawn cart that looks like it's been here for a lot longer than just the 90s. And might be a piece of the axle of the burnt out car, which is at some considerable distance from the rest of the burnt out car. This isn't spooky. Since I was last here a week ago, saying it really spooky and weird, somebody appears to have drunk a great deal of milk, which is no less unsettling. And we're back where the burnt out car was again, just in there. You can probably see the rusty pieces. I think the new gate and new paths through me, but this path I'm not going down now is definitely the rally driving track we used to go down. Probably. Just needs a bit of oil and that'll start. Yeah. But definitely the rally driving track. ended with a gate just over there, and we're back at the fallen tree again. But there is evidence of a sort of lumpy, bumpy track that came up here and round here. I think that's probably the track I used to ride on when I was a kid. Or maybe that's the little section where my friend used to hide. I finally found it after about 20 years. Well, this isn't spooky, part 3. I was planning on going to finding the Chinese bridge, but it's starting to rain, so I think I'll run home instead. Back to this road again. At least this looks the same as it did when I was little. Remember that fence? I'm sure there's a big gate on that path carries on down there. But anyway, this is West Fen, and one of my first ever consistently made comic strips has got cart wars. Like kids racing gravity-powered wooden carts down hills and having banger races with them. But then it got a bit silly and I started having egg shooting machine guns and stuff. And then I took it back to basics and made it just about banger racing in wooden carts again. And this is one of the locations, because it's one of the very few hills in the area. Actually, it doesn't look very steep now, but I remember it feeling really steep when I was a kid. Probably because this is Cambridgeshire and we had to take what we could get. Carries on down there. Anyway, I did actually want to do kart wars for real with my friends and sort of race and crash wooden carts. But I was the only one who ever made one that actually worked. And then as the Kart Wars comic strip went on, it kind of moved to a fictional place called Speed Town, which had a lot more hills. And it started to have sort of fictional characters as well that I made up, although it still had me and my friends in it as actual characters as well. And this hedge never used to be here either. Oh, and there used to be a big haystack right down the far end, but I'm not going down there because the battery on the camera's nearly run out. Always assume these old buildings up here were sheds, but actually in Victorian times they're probably people's houses. Even had long gardens. Cat, 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 cat. Can't hold the camera steady.